Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins here. We've got the UFO sightings for you tonight. You're in the right place if you're looking for the phenomenon. And let me tell you, it's happening across the planet. Russia's lighting up, South America, and even here in the United States. But right now, we've got something special for you. An incredible bright orb captured in Russia itself. Watch this.
Ну, блин, уже ни хрена не понятно. Во-во-во-во, сейчас поднимается, вот оно, не фокусирует, вот опять к нам летит. Тихо, тихо, блин, он не хочет фокусироваться, как назло. Вот, летит и светит. Летит и светит. И не фокусируется на нем. Все по классике.
Let's roll this video once again, and we're going to do some enhancements because it deserves it. In my opinion, at first I thought this could be simply a drone, but when we see the illumination that comes across on the camera lens itself is quite a display in luminosity here. As you can see, this bright orb lights up the ground beneath it, and we're not seeing any kind of indication of a helicopter or an airplane. This orb is tremendous in its brilliance of light right now, and again illuminating on the surface itself and just kind of hovering there. The dogs are kind of enjoying the snow, maybe oblivious to what's going on to the right of them, but let's watch it again. We're gonna get a closer look. Guys, I want to get your opinions as the people roll in this live premiere right here at Third Phase of Moon. There's a lot of drama going around. People going after people and trying to suppress information, especially UFO Twitter. It seems that their ethics have really dropped over the past couple years. What's wrong with these guys? But anyway, we're back to this video, looking at it very close and seeing it in full detail here. This is actually pretty clear, and look how bright it is. It's lighting up the field beneath it. Brent, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is wild, Blake. This is great footage. You see the dogs running off, and she is actually humming and whistling to herself the X-Files theme, because what she's seeing is something amazing. I like the way this just approached the camera. At first, I thought it was maybe a plane coming in with its headlights, but then it did this bank to the right there, and you could notice it just kind of descends slowly with this bluish hueish light. It's awesome. We've seen these orbs like this for decades, but this is one of the best captures I've seen for quite some time. Look at this thing. It's just illuminating the ground there, and it's almost touching it. What's going on here? Is Russia pulling off new technology? Are they experimenting with propulsion that we're not familiar with?
Yeah, Brian, I'm wondering the same thing. And also, maybe it could be a natural occurrence. Is ball lightning what we're witnessing here? Could it be biological in nature? Some kind of plasmic field of an unknown species that we're unaware of? But then again, I'm really happy that people across the planet are interested in the phenomenon. And even on a cold night, if these people weren't out there walking their dogs, nobody would have seen this. So this is very peculiar in the way most UFO videos come into Third Phase of Moon. It's basically the public that has no idea what a UFO is. They don't even think about it, but they notice something strange that is not natural to what they think in natural process, absorbing information as it's processed through the brain. But they're smart enough to get their camera out because they're seeing something they can't explain. And right now I'm having a hard time explaining to you what exactly this could be. That's why we're trying to get the answers. Hopefully maybe somebody on the ground might be able to get to this area and see if there's any residual trace elements of something that maybe have been detached from this craft as it was so close. Maybe there could be a crop circle within the area. We need more information on this video. Brent, any last thoughts before we get to the next one?
Yeah, we see a little landmark, some sort of tower in the background. I urge you, if you're familiar with this place in Russia, go down there right now. This could be a new hotspot. You never know. And if you're out there, if you have a camera, you see something like this, you film it. This, again, is good footage, and I'm glad we're looking at it closer right here. And this thing does touch down. It's amazing.
And some people might simply dismiss this as trickery or a reflection or some kind of CGI hoax going on here, but in my opinion, this is 100% legit. The question is, what is it? With that being said, let's roll the next video right now. Watch. That was the cut. Let's watch this once again. We've seen cigar-shaped craft over bodies of water. I think this is a Pacific Ocean. And the trick is, Brent's telling me right now that it is confirmed off the coast of California. Thanks for that. Is that a Coast Guard vessel out there as well? I'm not exactly sure what kind of ship that is, but the question is what kind of ship is levitating in the air, moving from right to left here. They actually held the camera pretty steady so we could get a good look at it, and I'm not seeing any kind of cabin underneath this or any kind of tail coming off the back end of the craft, so I'm gonna have to dismiss the Goodyear blimp. What's going on here, in my opinion, is possible military experimental craft is what we're looking at, and what a great place to do this off the coast of California and possibly near this Malibu base. Brent, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm thinking this, with the information that was given to me, I'm thinking this is more closer to Baja, and that's interesting. This activity of UFOs and encounters with the Nimitz back in 2017. Is there a military UFO exercise going on in the Pacific? That's a big, definite possibility. Now, I'm looking at this. It's large and it's moving right to left at some speed. This thing's quite far away, and look at the speed that it's traveling. It's moving pretty fast. Now, people might dismiss this as a blimp, but why would a blimp be so far out over an ocean where they're not displaying an advertisement? That's not what they're in business for. They're there to display themselves. What's going on here? Here's a good map of right off the coast of California where it took place, and here we go. This is good information coming in.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up so we could actually nail down the exact location of whatever this craft is. And in my opinion, like you said, Brent, it has no business being out there. I don't think it's anything to do with some kind of commercial advertisement. I'm thinking this could either be possible some kind of life form with advanced technology known as extraterrestrials, interdimensionals, whatever you call it. Maybe they exist in a short amount of time in areas that people are lucky enough to capture it on camera as we're looking at it right now. Again, it's very rigid in its form. I'm not seeing any kind of cabin. So again, I'm trying to get a closer look on this and see if I see any kind of navigational lights on this or FAA lights. I'm not seeing any of this. And even blimps are required by the FAA to have anti-collision lights aboard their vehicles, and I'm not seeing any of this. Some people might also say that it looks like the Tic Tac, but according to Fravor and some of the other pilots, this thing's much, much larger. And then again, this is a dark shade, not the white Tic Tac as we all know it, but in my opinion, that's because of the direction of the sun shadowing the craft itself. Brent, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. This thing's pretty much darkened out by the sun's setting itself. I'm going to throw one more thing out there. Could this be maybe a banner being pulled by an airplane? We've got some really good close-ups right here, and we don't see anything tugging this. Whatever's moving, I'm thinking it's moving on its own flight path. So what we're looking at here is a big question. We're ruling out CGI. That's for sure. This is the real deal. Now, like I always say, the big question, what is it?
Yep. And again, the actual location to this craft off the coast of California, guys, we want the answers and hopefully we could get them for you. But right now, this case is on the chalkboard for unknown. Now, take a look at this. Bizarro, right? These kind of UFOs are kind of making the rounds. And here's another one that's kind of in really close proximity to the person who's shooting it. And I don't know about you guys, but if this was kind of approaching me, I'd be definitely pulling out my camera, but I would be kind of concerned on what's its agenda in close proximity to me. This is pretty bizarro. Brent, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, notice the big power lines and the structure holding it up. The tower, is it interested in the electrical field? They're getting pretty close. If it had a touch with these lines, it would blow up. Now, could this be a balloon? Look at the spikes on it. I don't see it moving. It's not rotating or bobbing like a normal balloon would. This thing seems to be on its own flight path, just calmly dropping down, and seem to be aware of the power lines in itself. It looks almost biological, some people might say. This was given to us, and Jaime Maussan wanted to ask, what does the American people think of this video? What's going on here?
Yeah, absolutely. Telemusoro and Jaime Maussan reaches out. They want us to share their evidence to the American community and as well the world itself. They know Third Phase Moon's a huge platform getting the information out. So appreciate that, Jaime Maussan out of Mexico. But again, the question is, what the heck is this? You're right, Brent. If this were a balloon, I would think I would see some kind of undulation on the structure of itself. It's very, very rigid. Even the spikes itself seem not to waver one single bit. So, in my opinion, whatever this is, it has some girth to it. It's very rigid, and I don't see any prop propeller blades, so it's not a drone. So, again, we're just trying to figure out what the phenomenon is. And if this indeed is a phenomenon of some kind of life that we're unaware of, well, that's the whole idea of Third Phase of Moon. That's why we're asking the public to send us their footage. And again, we want to thank Jaime Maussan for getting this to us. Even though the clip's pretty short, I would have liked to see where it went, where it came from, maybe some eyewitness testimony as we get from the public. But that being said, it's still very bizarro. Now, let's get to this. It's a pretty cool sighting of what looks to be some kind of experimental craft at a high altitude, illuminating the clouds. Watch this. So I'm pulling the video up once again and zooming in about 50% to get a closer look. And I'm looking at this bright orb. I can see that it's high up there in the atmosphere, possibly the stratosphere or maybe space. I'm not sure if this could be a satellite. I'm not seeing any FA lights on it, so I'm going to have to rule out commercial. But I really like points of this video where you can see it shimmer off the clouds. So then I'm thinking this is a lot closer to the person on the ground who's shooting this, as it illuminates the clouds around it. This is pretty interesting. Look at this as it illuminates the clouds. This is pretty bright, and this is beyond any kind of drone that I'm aware of to do this kind of activity. And I would estimate these clouds to be at least maybe 10 to 15,000 feet in altitude. Brent, what's your thoughts there?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can just see it. It's kind of dancing in and out of the clouds itself. It's doing its path. It almost seems to stall at some point, too. This is pretty cool. We're seeing orbs. People are submitting them to us on a daily basis, and this is good evidence right here. Could this be something in space, a possible satellite? Well, that's a question here, but we did see it right there where it illuminated the clouds itself, and that was pretty spectacular.
Absolutely, Brent. Maybe Space Force is up to something up there, above top secret kind of things. That's something to comprehend and keep into the thought process as we move along in this field of ufology, or getting to the truth, or disclosure, whatever you call it. I think we all understand we're trying to find the answers right here at Third Phase Moon. So don't forget, if you've captured anything amazing out there, upload that video to YouTube, copy paste that link to my email. It's in the description. Make sure you have a steady hand, get a good shot, and if you want to be really, really cool, videotape yourself with a 2-minute testimonial video explaining your experience and what you saw, and send that to my email as well. It really helps a lot. Everybody, don't forget, one last time, you know, like we all do, thanks for joining us, but remember, we're not alone. We'll see you next time.
Looking around, thinking it's only you, only to find we're many more than a few. Where do they lie? How come we seldom see them? Right in between the lines is where they reside. No reason to fear, we know who's here.
you guys enjoyed this special episode right here at Third Phase of Moon. And if you've enjoyed the music, hey, look, we got the album out. It's called Third Phase of Moon, Behind the Veil. It's streaming on all audio platforms, Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. It's all there. And again, we're going to keep bringing you the UFO videos on a daily basis. We got so much coming in. Buckle up for that, everybody. And make sure you hit that subscription button and the notification bell to be notified when Third Phase of Moon goes live with these premieres. I appreciate everybody in the chat tonight. You guys are rocking it tonight. And that super chat, wow, you guys are very generous. We appreciate you guys and the members who've joined Third Phase of Moon. All you beautiful members out there that have joined us, wow, we appreciate you guys too. We've got a lot of exclusive content for you guys. So let me tell you, a lot of things are happening. We're working on the sequel to Countdown to Disclosure and much, much more. This is Blake Cousins, along with my brother Brent. You guys be safe out there and keep your eyes on the skies. We'll see you next time.
Find a way to communicate a solid system. No more lies rolling